Welcome back to Ocean Casino at the amazing Top Golf. We're bringing in our next guest here, talk all things draft and all things Eagles fandom, and get his excitement when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles team selecting Jalen Carter. Adam Malamut joins us right now. Adam, welcome in. Great to see you again. How, as a lifelong Eagles fan that you are, how excited are you for Jalen Carter that he's here in Philadelphia?
It's incredible. Listen, I saw Seth's reaction when the draft when the draft pick went down. And I looked at Seth immediately because we all know that defenses win, right? Phenomenal pick.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about this earlier when it came to Howie Roseman. From the Eagles fan perspective, this is a guy that might have one of the greatest turnarounds in the history of Philadelphia sports in terms of a guy that was heavily criticized. The popular thing, our most favorite pastime in Philadelphia, was almost rooting against Howie Roseman and just wishing his dismissal. Now it's a guy that you just consistently look at as a guy to build a winner.
He makes bold moves during the drafts. And, picking up A.J. Brown last year, nobody saw that coming. And that really changed the perspective of folks. I think that was the defining moment.
Adam, was Jalen at the top of your wish list, or were you like a lot of Philadelphians? Were you screaming for Bijan Robinson?
So it's funny. Some of my friends were sitting with me over there, were screaming for Bijan. I wanted Jalen. I wanted Jalen all the way. You put him next to Jordan Davis, you have the two best young disruptors on that defensive line. And we all know, listen, the idea is to put what did Jalen Hurts just sign? A 5-year, $250-some million contract? Keep that man on the field. You're not going to keep him on the field if the defense is on the field.
Yeah, it really has to go a lot, Seth, when it comes to confidence in this defense. And I know we don't know a lot about Sean Desai at this point, but the guys that are out there right now, whatever defense he's going to be running with these pieces, I think he's bound for some success.
Well, you need talent. I don't care what you're running, whether you're an overly aggressive defense or whether you're a passive defense that likes to bend but don't break. You need talent, And the Eagles have lost a lot of talent. They lost their 2 starting linebackers. They lost their defensive tackle with the most sacks. They lost a playmaker at safety. That's a lot to lose. And if you're going to be the type of team that the strength of your defense is going to be the defensive line, then the first place that they have to address is the defensive tackle position, in my opinion. Listen, Josh Sweat's going to do what he's going to do. Brandon Graham's going to do what he's going to do in a minimized role because of numbers. And then you got Hassan Reddick, who ended up with 16 sacks last year. You think that he's not chomping at the bit. You just need guys that can push the middle of the field, that can push the pocket, to allow those guys on the outside to do what they do. And I don't know. I'm really excited about this pick. I haven't been this excited about a pick in a long time, but I'm extremely excited to see what this kid turns into because I think he's the complete package. I really do.
Yeah, and Adam, you look at a player like Jordan Davis. We were excited to get him last year. Want him to develop into an NFL player a little bit more in this upcoming season. He's going to have to fill that role, of course, of doing that as not just Jalen Carter filling in for a guy like Javon Hargrave, but also seeing a guy what Jordan Davis could do. Now, when it comes to this defense as a whole, what are your expectations for the upcoming season as it sits right here?
Seth brought up a great point. We lost a playmaker safety. And in my mind, that there's two options, right? Go out and get another playmaker safety like a Budda Baker, somebody like that, or put so much pressure on the offense that they don't have time to get rid of the ball and make them make bad decisions. So my expectation is I think this defense, look, you brought back leadership. Brendan Graham's here. We've got Fletcher Cox came back. So under guys like that who have led, who have been Pro Bowlers, who have played at the highest level, I think these two guys are committed. I don't want to predict anything other than them being the best defense in the NFL. I wouldn't want to run up the middle.
Certainly not against this team. As far as excitement goes, I know whenever you take a wide receiver, that's a sexy pick. You trade up and you get Devontae Smith like you did a couple of years ago. Everyone's really excited about that. In recent memory here, when it comes to excitement about where does this pick and Jalen Carter rank for you?
Oh, this is a sexy pick.
Oh, this is definitely a sexy pick.
You might as well throw some high heels on it because it's
I was hoping Seth wasn't going to go that far. That was
all right. I got to ask you this. Are you more excited about the 2023 Eagles offense or defense?
Listen, man, that's tough. I absolutely love Jalen Hurts, and I'm sure that I'll fall in love with the play of this defense. but this offense is electrifying. You know, the last offense that I remember that was this electrifying, and really at running back it's going to be questionable, but we have the best offensive line in football.
Right.
Was the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams, who just, you know, every time they touched the ball, you know, they moved. And that's what this offense has the ability to do. This defense has the ability to keep that offense on the field. So, you know, it's kind of a loaded question, but I mean, look, I think it makes them a more complete team all the way around.
I will say this. I believe that I'm more excited about the offense because I believe that the offense is not going to have the luxury of 70 sacks that they had last year.
Right.
And I think that Jalen Hurts is going to have to take another step, if you will. The whole offense is going to have to take another step in their development, in their maturation. I think that, you know, before the Jalen Carter pick, you know, I was really afraid of what the Eagles are going to look like on defense next year, just from the standpoint that, you know, we were middle of the pack against the run, and we led the league in sacks. That's kind of an oxymoron, if you will. You know, so that kind of puts you, you know, even though your numbers are up here and overall you look like you're a really good defense, but a team that's committed to running, they can control the clock. They can control the time of possession. So that changes everything. And I felt like, you know, if they didn't shore up the defensive line and try to replace what was lost, that this offense is going to have to come out and score 30, 35 points a game in order to win. I don't feel like that's necessarily the case now. Now, the jury is still out on who's going to play linebacker and how proficient they can be. The jury is still out on who's going to play safety,
right,
and how proficient can they be. We're okay at corner, slot. We're all right there. But those other two positions, those are still and they are crucial.
Yeah, crucial.
Yeah, but if you look at the defense and you look at filling holes on the defense, this by far was the biggest hole I think we needed to fill.
Oh, my
So
doubt.
if we're going to take a step, we definitely took the right step tonight.
Absolutely.
What are you rooting for, Adam Malamut, Malamut and Associates? What are you looking for the Eagles to do at 30? Do you want them to move up from 30? You want them to stay at 30? You want to trade back at 30? What are you expecting Howie Roseman to do with that 30th pick asset?
I mean, the thing about Howie Roseman, you have no idea what he's going to do. You have no idea what move he's going to make.
I do.
I would love.
I'm sorry, because Christian Gonzalez
Nobody
is still on
but
the
Seth
board.
knows.
And listen, when we sat down here, what's the first thing you asked me?
Where are they going?
And what did I say?
You said they're going to go in D-line, Jalen Carter.
Okay, so now the 30th pick, they're not going to move off that pick. They don't have to move off that pick. They need a safety that is a bona fide player. And the way that, you know, these players are moving off the board, you know, there are going to be some really good safeties there at the end. The kid from Alabama, Branch, love that kid.
Absolutely
love that kid.
Yeah.
And then even the kid, you know, Jordan Battle, even though he's the 82nd ranked overall player from Bama, he's the other safety. He's a good player, you know. So I just think the safety spot with what they lost in C.J. Gardner-Johnson this year, they need to shore that up because, you know, NFs. So, I mean, what do you have there? You've got at two positions, like I said, you got fill-in guys that you hope will get there, but there's nothing like getting that guy, especially at the tail end of the first round, that you believe can be a guy that's going to be on your roster for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
I want to jump here real quick because another corner just went off the market there. Emmanuel Ford of Mississippi State just went to Washington.
Yes.
Christian, unless I missed it, and we were
he's still
talking,
on the board.
Christian Gonzalez still on the board, Gunner.
See, Christian Gonzalez, for the last month, consistently have been considered the number one cornerback on the draft. Now he's not even off the board yet, and two corners have gone before him. What is it that all of a sudden flipped the script on this young man to where he's still wondering when or how he's going in the first round?
I just, you know, dare I say, man, I hate when I turn on, you know, the flagship and hear some of these prognosticators talk about kids and what may be going on in their life and what might be going on behind the scenes. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist by nature, so I kind of feel like, you know, some of that stuff is directed. You know, teams may want a player,
right.
Teams may not want another team to get a player. So, you know, you let little things leak out and little things are said You know, in NFL organizations around this time of the year, they got rabbit ears, man. Every little thing that they hear, they kind of believe it. And I think it's a travesty sometimes, you know, when things are said about players without you really knowing that player, without you really knowing that player down to his soul, you know, because you're affecting his dream and his money.
Christian Gonzalez just went off the.
There you go.
I think you guys just spoke to the universe.
See that? Belichick's listening to us, Adam.
That's my dude right there, man. Listen.
Yeah,
I saw corners on the board this year. This kid right here, I'm telling you right now, this kid right here is going to be special.
And also now with a chip on his shoulder.
That's right.
So that's great. Adam, before we let you go, Eagles staying at 30? Are they making a pick there? And if so, are they going offense or defense?
So, you know, to Seth's point, I think that defense 100%, right? So we need to fill holes in defense. I could see a trade. I don't know if Buda Baker's still a viable option or somebody like that. I would gladly give up the 30th for a premier safety, but there's enough young guys out there that we can get. It's got to be a safety. I mean, that to me completes this defense.
The only problem that I have with Buda Baker wants out of Arizona for two reasons. He wants to be paid as the highest paid safety in the league. Two, he doesn't want to go through the rebuild process that the Arizona Cardinals are about to and waste his prime years.
Yep.
Okay?
Right.
The Eagles are going to have a lot of cap space next year, especially with the masterful way that Howie, you know, facilitated Jalen's deal. They're still going to be darn near $40 million, you know, under the cap next. So they're going to be able to make some moves. Do you want to spend that on Buda Baker?
No.
Well, we don't. So no, but we only have, you know, winning in the NFL. You have a small window, right?
I get it.
So I'm looking at what's going to give us our best chance this year, and bringing in one of these young guys who may need a year or two to develop. I'm not sure that with our veterans we have that kind of luxury. That being said, I'd rather draft somebody. But if we don't have that option, if the guys we want to draft are off the board, I would pay the money for
you know what the
Baker.
you know
You're not going to pay Buda Baker that kind of money. No. They don't pay a safety that kind of money.
That's why I'm rooting for Branch, baby.
That's
Rooting
why
for
I love Branch, and I hope he's there.
Yeah,
But you
me too.
don't know that he's going to be there.
The beauty of having the picks and the cap space next year, that if you get to a point before the trade deadline and you need to go get a guy, you have the flexibility financially and assets to actually go and get that piece that gets you over the top.
Yeah,
That's right. I agree.
Adam, great catching up with you again. Thank you
Likewise.
so much. Congratulations on having the
guys.
best hair on the panel here.
Listen,
that's an accomplishment.
That's one of the things I was excited about. I'm looking at you guys, and I'm thinking, you know, I got nothing on Seth. I mean, look at him. I mean, come on. I mean, look at him. You know, somebody yelled my name. You know, people have been like cheering for Seth. Shrek yells my name. so, you know, you guys are pros, but the fact that I can come to the table and say that I've got the best hair at the table, this is a
That's
first
true.
for me.
There we go.
Point.
The first
It's not
pitch
long,
of hair
I
tonight.
want to be like you when I grow up.
Whoa. Don't rush.
We hope to catch up with you again from the field in the upcoming season as well.
Appreciate you guys.
Adam Malamut
Yeah,
joining us.
thank
So we'll
you.
be back. Phelps rejoins us here on the JAKIB Media Draft Special.
Weather forecasting is a team game.
We rely on each other.